This feels almost banal to say, but we have to impeach the president, right?
You know what time it is. Impeach the president. Pulling out my ray gun. Zap the next one.
There's no other option here. There's no other choice. The president of the United States needs to be impeached. Third impeachment for the guy, but it needs to happen. Not just third impeachment, but it should be happening on the regular. There should be multiple impeachment trials. If Democrats win the House and Senate, they need to be impeaching this guy every month, because we have witnessed just a string of demonstrably impeachable offenses. And I'm not even going to try to rank them. I'm just going to state them, right? So the unleashing of ICE and Customs and Border Protection on American cities as like a terror squad is impeachable, right? It is treating the American public as almost like an enemy occupying force and trying to suppress them with actually lethal force. That's an impeachable offense. The whole attacking Venezuela, deposing its leader, taking over its oil industry, and then siphoning those funds into a Qatari account that seems to just be the president's private slush fund, that is very impeachable. That is an attempt to circumvent Article 1, Congress's control of the power of the purse. And it's just like, it's criminal. I mean, it's funny. The standard for impeachment in the Constitution is high crimes and misdemeanors and bribery. And he's already met the bribery thing many times. High crimes and misdemeanors isn't a criminal code thing. It's not a legal thing. It's a political thing. And I think, I would say that trying to actively subvert Congress's power over the purse so that you can do whatever you want with this private money is the kind of political offense that justifies impeachment. So that's the other thing. What else? What else is on the board? Threatening America's allies with military force just for the hell of it. Threatening Greenland, Denmark, Europe with a military attack just to do it, I would also count as an impeachable offense. And I'm sure there are others. I mean, please leave them in the comments. Again, remember, impeachment is a political process. It's not a legal one. An impeachable offense in a lot of ways is whatever you want it to be. Andrew Johnson, for the most part, was impeached for being a jerk. But there are things this president is doing, and really the ICE occupation and the private slush fund are near the top of the list, that are just fundamental subversions of constitutional government. And what I mean by that is just the notion that lawmakers are bound by law, are bound by a higher law, are accountable to the people, and cannot simply act as sovereigns, which is just another way of saying they can't simply act as if their will is itself law. And by that metric, Trump is the most impeachable president to ever exist. I'm reminded here, I'm going to take a book from the bookshelf real quick. I'm reminded here of a point that the historian Justene Hill Edwards makes in her great book, The Rise and Betrayal of the Freedmen's Bank, Savings, and Trust. Wonderful book, you should read it, but she makes this observation, and the book is about this bank created for the formerly enslaved after the Civil War that was pretty quickly betrayed by its trustees and used to loot the Black community of the time. But there's a part in this book, and I can't find the page at the moment, I didn't mark it, or did I mark it? No, he didn't. When Hill talks about how Republicans were approaching Johnson in 1868 and how they were impeaching him, not just because they didn't like him, that he was subverting congressional Reconstruction, but they were impeaching him to kind of flex political muscle, to show that they're in control, that this was their government. And I think ultimately that is the reason why, should Democrats win Congress, they need to pursue multiple impeachment trials, or maybe just one big impeachment trial, right? However they want to do it, they should pursue impeachment against the president, against Noem, against Hegseth, against Rubio, against anyone in the administration that is complicit or actively assisting these crimes, I think, against the nation. Certainly Stephen Miller, who technically isn't an impeachable official, but hell, you should treat him as one anyway. You run these impeachment trials to demonstrate, to show that you are in control now, that this is your government. And
look at me, sure. Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
And you are going to do as much as you can to purge it of those forces that are subverting the public good, the public trust. demonstrate to the president that he is actually not sovereign. He is not the uncontested leader of the country. He is the chief executive. He is a servant of the people. He's a servant of the Constitution specifically. That if he isn't going to do his duty to the Constitution, then he can't be there. And even if removal is not feasible, impeachment trials, multiple impeachment trials, show, demonstrate, highlight, emphasize, however you want to put it, that he is not really in control anymore, that the people through the representatives are in control, and that when they get the opportunity to, they're going to do everything they can to reverse his impact on this government. Now, asking Democrats to do this is going to be a tall order. Democrats like a defensive crouch. They're somewhat cowardly, a fearful and cowardly lot. And so accomplishing this is going to require real political pressure. It require primaries to get more aggressive Democrats in office. But I think this is an achievable goal. I think impeaching the president, not just once, not just twice, maybe even 3 times for all the big major things he's done so far, is an achievable goal. And the point of doing it is to show him and the country who is actually in charge. And it's not that guy. It's not that dude.